Hi, everybody. Welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin, and today is Flameworking 102.57 High Sparkle Rings. So, this holiday season, due to lack of funds from me losing my job a couple months ago, I'm going to be making a whole bunch of glass items for the boys and girls of our family, which we have a lot. I'm going to be making these beautiful sparkle rings for the girls, and I am using the Lumiere Luster flakes on these. And I am not disappointed. These came out amazing. So I am so excited to share with you all, and I hope you're inspired. And if you have ring mandrels and these flakes, make some of these rings. Everybody will love them. And with that said, let's get right into it. I hope you're all doing safe and well out there. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon. All right, I'm going to move some stuff around here and get some of my flakes ready. I thought it would be a lot of fun to just mix the 4 different flakes that I have up in a pile and just kind of use them however I want. So I'm going to start out by throwing down a little bit of the Beetlejuice, which is different shades of green and blue. And then I'm going to throw in some of the black opal, which is my absolute favorite flake. And then following up, I have a little bit of this blue thunder, which is really cool. And last but not least, I have the Carnival, and it's this fiery red color that just looks incredible under the clear. And here is my sparkle pad, and they don't look like this when they're finished. They're a little different, so it's just incredible to see how these work out in the glass. And I'm going to just put my pad over there in the back, and I'm starting out with a large ring mandrel. And you can find these online. I'll try to put a link in at the bottom of the description for these. And this is like a kind of a medium size. I would say like a 7 or 8 ring size. And I do spend a lot of time just very gently heating the bead release to make sure that all of the moisture is completely out of it. And that's what you see kind of like steaming out, is the moisture from the inside. And once I have it hot enough and it's kind of glowing where I want to lay down my line, I heat my glass up and just start to lay my pathway down for this ring. And I am going to go over it 3 times. So I'm kind of doing my my wiggle with the cane and just getting all that glass on there in a nice big disc. All right, now that the glass is on there, I am just going to spend some time to melt everything down. And, it's important that you follow the track of the ring as you're building up the glass. It'll just make the ring more even and look nicer. So I'm just going to heat this up real good. And for me, I prefer to have a square ring to start out with. So I'm going to press this down in 4 different spots just to square it up. I'll do that a couple times. And the reason why I like to do this is because when you wear these glass rings, if they're too bulky around the sides, they just don't wear right. So I always like to kind of square it up, and that locks the ring in on your fingers. So the top piece is always on the top. It's not moving around. So that's why I like the square. And then right here, after I kind of clean up those edges, I'm just putting on a guide dot so I know which spot I'm going to add this big dollop of glass. So now that I have the band ready, I'm just going to spend time keeping it warm in the back of the flame while I heat up a nice big ball of black. And then I'll just go ahead and add that to the top part of the ring. And here what I'm doing is I'm trying to get all the way around this dot just to heat it as evenly as possible so it's not falling from one side to another. And when I'm ready, I'm going to flatten it down. And I'm looking at it really carefully, trying to make sure it's right in the center. I'll do this a couple times. And then here, I just want to heat the top half because I'm going to shape this a little differently. I like to do round rounds, but this time I'm going to make it more of a kind of a, I don't know, rectangular shape, a TV shape maybe. And then as I am working on this, it's most important to keep the ring itself on the sides and on the bottom warm. You don't want any of it to crack while you're working on it. And I'm just going to finish flattening this out. I think I'm going to get those sides and pull them in a little bit, but let me pull in my luster flakes here as well. Yeah, I want to pull those sides in one more time. You want a nice flat surface before you grab your flakes. So now I'm just going to heat everything up and then focus right on the top of the ring and push down into my flakes. And that's it. All we have to do is cover this in clear and we're done. But the tricky part is not to put any of these flakes in the flame. You don't want to burn off any of these. So what I'm doing here is just heating up the 3 sides of the ring, and then to heat the top up and keep it warm, I'm just holding it over the flame upside down, but the flame is not touching the flakes. All right, so I have my glass nice and hot, and I didn't do this very well. I should have pushed the clear glass on, and I just kind of dropped it on. So what I want to do is very quickly just heat up just the clear. It's better if you press a big ball of clear down, trust me. And then you can go in and just flatten it real good after it's hot. The quicker you can do this without heating up the flakes, the better. You want to immediately cover everything that you can. So what I've done here is dial in my flame to where it's more of kind of a pinpoint and doesn't go over the clear. So it's just like right in the center of the clear. And I spend all this time with my butter knife just pushing the clear over the edge until it's completely covering the flakes. And then you're good to go. I will kind of shape up the sides again because the clear will push over the top. So I'm going to bring those in a little bit more. And really the rest of this is just heating and shaping. I'm going to add a little bit more glass to the top. Ooh, I just love the way this looks. I think I'm going to add more glass to the top. I'm going to continue to shape it. Now, another thing that I find about these rings is that if I'm working with one hand or another, it tends to, the ring will kind of fall one side or another. So I want to make sure that I inspect the ring on all sides just to make sure it's exactly the way I want it. I thought I was going to add more glass, but I don't think so. I think that this might be it for us. So I'm just going to heat, and get this as hot as I can, just to shape it a little bit more. And we are done with our high sparkle ring, you guys. I have made like, I don't know, maybe about 10 of these in different sizes, and they all look amazing. And I will share several of them at the end of this video with you guys, but you can see how long it takes me to kind of, you know, get that final shape that I'm looking for. And we are done here. This final sparkle at the end looks great. All right, you guys, have a great time, have a great week, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon.